I know, yes, there will still be, outpours. There will still be some positive reactions. Dignitaries fell into Ibadan. I'll use that word, fell into Ibadan. Ibadan stood still. Market women, market men, Ibadan people as a whole. Yes, people from outside Ibadan, people from outside Oyo State, they thronged the venue, the Mapo Hall, the great Mapo Hall. Yes, to witness the observation, to beg your pardon, to witness that occasion. And yes, those who could not get to that venue of the main event, well, they were given some kind of, opportunities. Big screens were placed at strategic locations for people who cannot get near the main event to just stand or sit somewhere and be watching the screens and seeing how the event, yes, went yesterday. The program is Conversation. We'll go through some of the stories and some events that surrounded it yesterday. Stay with us. Conversation. Yes, the program is still Conversation on Oluyole FM, 98.5 in the city of Ibadan. 96.3 FM, Okeogun, is with us. 92.1 FM is also with us in Agility. Well, like I just gave a brief on how Ibadan was yesterday. They stand still to honor the new Olubadan of Ibadan land, the new monarch of Ibadan land, His Imperial Majesty Oba Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja. Yes, we congratulate him at this end, and we pray that God will give him the strength and the faith and the knowledge to lead Ibadan and Oyo State to greater heights. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has declared that the Olubadan traditional system and succession process are sacrosanct and must continue to be upheld. The governor stated this on Friday while presenting the staff and instruments of office to the 44th Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Senator Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja Arusha the first at the Mapo Hall Arcade, Ibadan. He maintained that all challenges associated with the Olubadan chieftaincy system in recent years are over, even as he prayed that the reign of Oba Ladoja would usher in peace, progress, and development in the state, in the city. He specifically mentioned Chief Mko Abiola, who he said witnessed the beginning of this journey, and prayed that he would reach the top. His prayer is an answered prayer today. And yes, Governor Makinde also pointed out that the ascension of the new Olubadan was met by excitement by residents of the city, stating that this was an indication that the people want the Olubadan tradition to be upheld. And yes, people, with what we saw yesterday, people loved Ladoja. People love him, Oba Ladoja, with due respect. Well, in his speech, President Tinubu congratulated Oba Ladoja, noting that it was a great honor to witness his coronation as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And President Tinubu, who described Oba Ladoja's perseverance, resilience, and reliability as impeccable, reminisced on their days in the Senate, his travels during his impeachment as governor of Oyo State, and his comeback praying to God to grant the new royal father long life and success on the throne, so that he would be celebrated as one of the rare gems to ascend the throne. Well, he did not mention when they had problems with the military during the Nadeko and Campaign for Democracy era. Well, part of those reminiscences then. Now, in his acceptance speech, Oluyole said, Ibadan is blessed with highly resourceful people, both indigenes and residents in the city, and that his forefathers made great decisions in accommodating leading federal establishments and private businesses, which must now give back to the people of Ibadan. The new Oba pleaded with President Tinubu to make the creation of Ibadan State from the current Oyo State a reality before May 27. Well, there has been various controversies surrounding this creation of Ibadan State and some other states. But I know if this has to come to reality, it is not only Ibadan State that will be created, some other states too has to follow. Some other states has to follow. And Oluyole declared that his reign will be about service to Ibadan, Oyo State, Yoruba land, Nigeria, and Africa, stating that he will serve the people to the best of his ability, as according to him, all that is left for him to do is service to humanity, since God spared his life to witness his 81st birthday and also attain the throne of Olubadan. Yes, we say real big congratulations to our new monarch in Ibadan, Oba Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja. Yes, and I remember I can't really point out the date. He once said that his main achievement, what he wants in mind, was that to become the Olubadan of Ibadan land. Yes, he has said that for a long time, and actually that came to reality. And yes, many people thronged the coronation ceremony yesterday, and yes, I have some lists here. Of course, we witnessed it. Yes, we covered it. BCUS end. We covered it live, and of course, everybody saw. We had it live at some other broadcast stations. Tola, I was saying that our new Oba, our new monarch, says he will serve Ibadan and Yoruba land with all his might. He said it and some other issues, that he will ensure that Ibadan becomes great again.
And we also had the word for the Yoruba traditional institutions. He said traditional leaders should stop bickering with themselves, and they should hold the unity of Yoruba land as a priority, and the progress and development of Yoruba land. Now he was thanking certain people for their roles in his ascension. He mentioned the late Chief Lamidi Haribi
Adedibu, yes.
Oh, what KBC was trying to say. I was trying to see what Baba was trying to say there. We all know what transpired between him and the late strongman, revered strongman of Ibadan politics. And well, the acceptance speech, he said he's blessed with highly resourceful people. He said both indigenous and residents in the city. He gave praise to the forefathers of Ibadan land. Okay, and well, he also pleaded for the creation of Ibadan
State, yes. And I said earlier that if Ibadan State will be created, it will not only be Ibadan State that will be created, some other states too will follow.
And well, he also thanked President Bola Tinubu and the Olubadan in council. And okay. Well, I'm trying to see where he mentioned the late Chief Lamidi Adedibu. And Or maybe later in the course of the program, we'll be able to find that in this write-up. It says all challenges with Ibadan chieftaincy succession now over.
Yes. And now I just want to, I can see some pictures here. Pictures, glamorous pictures of the president presenting his address at the event. Oba Rashidi Adewoladoja and his Oluris, standing by him. And President Ahmed Tinubu and the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Sheyi Makinde, exchanging banters. And the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Saad Abubakar, with Oba Ladoja. And also various pictures on and on. Speaker Oyo State House of Assembly, Debo Ogundoyin, and his wife with Oba Ladoja. And let me just quickly go through the roll call. The roll call of dignitaries that were present yesterday, apart from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Senator Gbenga Daniel, former Ogun State Governor, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, former Ogun State Governor, Prince Olagunsoye Oyinlola, former Osun State Governor, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, former, Ekiti State Governor, Dr. Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, Alhaji Ibrahim Shekarau, Donald Duke, Ambassador Taufik Arapaja, former Deputy Governor of Oyo State, Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammadu Saad Abubakar, the Alaafin of Oyo, Oba Akim Awade Timi of Ede, Oba Muniruddin Adeshola Lawal, Shon of Ogumosho Land, Oba Gandhi Lawi, Ile-Iruwa of Iruwa, Oba Samuel Adegbola, Oluwu of Iwo Land, Olu of Iwo Land, Oba Abdul Rashidi Akambi, Olu of Igbora, Oba Jimo Titiluye, Olugbo of Ugbo Kingdom, Oba Obateru Akinrunto, popularly known as Obat.
Traditional rulers.
Justice Iyabo Yerima, Secretary to the State Government, Professor Olanike Adeyemo, Chief of Staff to the Governor Tumbasegun Ogunwuyi, Head of Service Mrs. Olubumi Oni, and Deputy Chief of Staff to the Governor Mr. Kazim Adeniyi. Those are just what can I say?
The roll call.
Roll call, some of the roll calls.
Eminent Nigerians at that event. Now, it was another occasion for President Tinubu to give another assurance to Nigerians that things will be better. And they say that ship will soon be a thing of the past. Again, he says pains will soon be over. Tinubu assures them, Nigerians. At least one thing, Bimbo, I love about the president is that he does acknowledge that there are pains. Yes. Unlike some of his aides who tell you that everything is okay. And that when anyone complains, they will tell you that you don't see anything good in Nigeria. Like people like the FCT minister who says that there is no gloom in Nigeria and that everything is okay and that we should always sound positive even when we are being caned. He tells us not to cry. I mean the FCT minister, and of course he says everything is fine. He says everything is okay, but here is the one who employed him acknowledging that there are indeed pains and he's telling us to bear just a little more. Those words, even if nothing is going to come out of those words in the immediate sense, at least the fact that you have soothing words, to calm frayed nerves, to calm frustrated nerves, that counts for something, and that is what a lot of these politicians do not understand. And then when you rip off Nigerians, and when you inflict untold hardship on ordinary masses, and yes, with impunity, you still tell them that, oh, what can you do? And because that's exactly what these kind of people tell. So, well, it's saying that the pains will soon be over, and Mr. John's light at the end of the tunnel. Mr. John's tunnel. Well, Mr. John
that has never been.
Mr. John sounded a little more hopeful yesterday, and but this is still resolute that when he sees the light, he will acknowledge it. And by the way, I hope Mr. John did wish to savour Amalangbegiri yesterday.
Well, he will tell us. I'm sure he will tell us how he even got to the event eventually.
With that heavy security. But then remember there are boards and the electronic boards that you can actually watch. So maybe Mr. John made do with that. Right, away from that now. On alleged terrorism, court rejects Nnamdi Kanu's no case submission, orders NMA to verify IPOB leader's health status in 8 days. Well, they keep talking about his health, but when you see him on television, he looks okay to me, and he looks what a man his age should look like. But then the NMA has been asked to verify whether he's okay or not, and I wonder, is he also going to be comfortable with the NMA? Because I'm sure the doctors that will be verifying his health status will also be doctors in the services of the government,
yes,
which he doesn't trust.
Yes.
Federal High Court in Abuja on Friday dismissed a no case submission, pardon me, filed by the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, in his ongoing trial for alleged terrorism. Now, delivering Justice James Omotosho held that the Department of State Services, DSS, prosecuting on behalf of the federal government had established a prima facie case against Kanu, thereby requiring him to enter his defense on the charges. And Kanu, through his lead counsel, Chief Kanu Agabi SCN, asked the court to dismiss the case after the prosecution closed its case, having called 5 witnesses and tendered them exhibits. Now, Justice Omotosho directed the president of the Nigerian Medical Association to set up an 8 to 10 member committee of medical experts, including a cardiologist, neurologist, and the chief medical director of the National Hospital to assess Nnamdi Kanu's health. And the committee has 8 days to submit its report on whether the IPOB leader should be transferred to the National Hospital for treatment. Now, wait for the outcome of the investigation.
Yes, Tola, I think in the petroleum sector there is a kind of problem brewing, and if it is not checked, well, I don't know what will happen. Now, the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria has threatened to picket the Dangote refinery over the alleged sacking of 800 workers who joined the association. And you know there have been some issues concerning joining the association by Dangote workers not joining. And the association alleged that over 2,000 Indian nationals were recruited by the company to take over the jobs of those sacked by Dangote on Thursday. And however, Dangote refinery said only a few of its workers were fired over repeated cases of sabotage. And in that statement made available to The Punch, the management of the company said this was an ongoing reorganization which became necessary to safeguard the refinery from repeated acts of sabotage. Well, we don't know which one is right. Maybe it is because they joined, those sacked joined the Pengasan union, or maybe on the side of Dangote refinery because the workers were sabotaging efforts of the refinery.
Well, I think I hope Pengasan did this investigation thoroughly before coming up with this, because well, we've seen this happen sometimes when workers want to justify their actions, their negative actions. At times they hinge it on certain things, like they are saying that it's because they joined the union. And my question here is that Alhaji Aliko Dangote, before the refinery came, also been a player in the oil industry. So is it that members of his personnel were never part of any union? So why is it becoming an issue if these ones are now joining the union? Is it that they didn't belong to the union before? Is it about the drivers of the CNG trucks? And so I think the Pengasa should be a little bit more detailed about this.
Detailed and cautious. Maybe tread softly.
Because I'm beginning to also wonder how come the unions all of a sudden are having problems with issues with Alhaji Aliko Dangote. First it was NNPCL, and that was solved to some extent. And I also think part of the solution to that was the exit of the former management of the NNPCL. That seemed to be a problem to the proper functioning and coming on board, and to Nigerians getting the benefits expected from the Dangote refinery. Now it is the unions. And I wonder, why didn't they have this problem with him all along?
All along, yes.
Before the refinery came. Now the refinery is there, and Nigerians are expecting to reap the advantages soonest. After all, our own refineries have refused to work despite billions pumped into it, and that is no fault of Alhaji Aliko Dangote. So I wonder, like I said, why the unions are suddenly having all these issues with him, and these issues that have been in the pipeline all along that are just bursting open. So we need to know more, Bimbo.
Yes.
We need to actually know more what exactly is going on. And new INEC chairman must not be partisan. That's coming from the ADC. Well, that's stating the obvious. It must not be. Of course, it must not be partisan. And I guess they have a reason they are saying this. Maybe they are saying certain things that we are not seeing yet. And on banditry, I mean, now 5 suspects with concealed AK-47 rifles in Kwara.
Kwara again. Now, I have this here. Despite borrowings, like we talked about borrowings, that Nigeria has been borrowing lots and lots of billions and millions of dollars and naira and pounds. President Tinubu, our president, I think the last 3 weeks said Nigeria will not borrow again. But I said that time during one of our programs that what about the states? And now I'm seeing this here, which is saying 20 governors borrow 458 billion naira amidst rising debts.
Why are they still borrowing? What is happening to the extra money accruing from the removal of petroleum subsidy? And they cannot say that they are spending all that on salaries because as we speak, so many of them are owing salaries. So what exactly is happening to that money? Is it, I don't know, unending sources of funding to fund projects? Is that what they are saying? And that the borrowing never ends. And well, Nigerians are suspicious. Bimbo. Yes, we are the ordinary Nigerians, we are the laymen, and we are not in government. But the story out there is that elections are around the corner, and that this is where the bulk of these funds will be going. I'm not saying that is what is happening, Bimbo, but that is the thinking of the ordinary layman, the masses out there on the streets, because they cannot comprehend, and the governors themselves are not offering any explanations as to why they still have to borrow, despite the fact that more money is coming from the federal purse. Internally generated revenue is being shored up across the states. So, well, like I said, we are not in government, and these elements, they see the things that we cannot see. So I cannot write them off outrightly that it is for corrupt purposes or for political purposes. There must be good reason why they are still borrowing, and that's why the fact that the man at the top, the Mr. President, also says that soon they would have no cost to borrow again. But then the governors are still borrowing. So. And the Oluyole of Owo, I've been speaking on behalf of Ondo monarchs, and I wonder if the Ondo monarchs were the ones that asked him to say this on their behalf. But I guess he must have their mandate, otherwise, okay. As to what he said, the Oluyole says he's trying to explain why President Tinubu deserves re-election, and he says Ondo monarchs will mobilize support for the president for his re-election bid. Chairman, he's actually the chairman of the Ondo State Council of Traditional Rulers, so maybe he's speaking in that capacity. The Oluyole of Owo, Oba Ajibade Gbadegesin Ogoye, has declared that traditional rulers in the state are ready to mobilize massive support for President Bola Tinubu, describing his administration as one already yielding visible benefits to Nigerians. The monarch made the remarks on Thursday at his palace in Owo while receiving members of the Ondo State chapter of the grassroots movement for Tinubu GMT, who were in the Owo Ose federal constituency, to hold a health outreach tagged Jigi Ashiwaju Free Medical Outreach. Jigi Ashiwaju.
Jiggy, is it jiggy or jiggy?
Jiggy glasses.
Jiggy glasses, but no, mirror.
Well, eyeglasses can also be referred to as jiggy. Just as a mirror, mirror too. Oh, they will be selling it. They will be giving them mirrors free of charge now. What they want them to do with it? But it's not like in those days when they said there's some people came to Ibadan land with mirrors that they had never seen before. And then they made them believe it had a lot of value. So they gave them the mirrors, and in exchange they gave them their sons and daughters to take away to go and sell to white people that were waiting at the coast.
The Portuguese.
So, well, I'm sure some of the indigenous will not be happy with me for saying this. This morning. Police now suspected bandit collaborators recover arms in Sokoto. And, okay.
I have this here. That is talking about Nnamdi Kanu. You mentioned something about Nnamdi Kanu.
And I said he has a case to answer.
Yes,
that,
case to answer. Yes.
The enemy, the court has asked the enemy to verify his health status. You know, he has been complaining about his health in custody.
Yes, before you go to your world of matrimonial oddities. Yes, I have this one here talking about, yes, well, an Abuja employer that bathed a 16-year-old with hot water. Yes, very callous. Let me see, just quickly go through the national agency. Well, that is in the capital territory, federal capital territory. Yes, I don't know what happened here. That is NAPTIP. Yes, in a statement shared on his Facebook on Friday, and disclosed that they rescued somebody that was a 16-year-old that was bathed with hot water, and then yes, 16-year-old, and NAPTIP rescued it. He was a domestic worker after our employer allegedly bathed her with hot water in the Gwarimpa area of Abuja, the federal capital territory. And it was said in a statement, and that was following a tip-off from the employer's neighbors. And according to the statement, the 16-year-old who was employed to care for the employer's 3 children was taken to hospital by neighbors who witnessed the assault. And the statement read, the victim hails from Imo State and comes from a family of 12, had been caring for our employer's 3 children, including 2-month-old twins and a 7-year-old boy, while the employer worked at night. Well, I don't really know what happened. Reports indicate that the girl was scalded with hot water by her employer. The reasons we do not know now.
No matter what the reasons are, I don't know why people are always find it so difficult to rein in their anger. No matter how angry you are, that is not the next thing. If she has offended you that much, the domestic help, why not just send her away instead of visiting the full scale of your heinous wrath on the girl,
and especially being a 16-year-old girl, 16.
All right, on to the book of matrimonial oddities, Bimbo, and Bimbo, the meatball is under attack again. And I always wonder why women always go for men's meatballs anytime they have altercation or physical issues with men. Well, this one says, this man says, my wife is rebellious, pulled my scrotum during a fight. That's according to the husband. Well, the wife offered an explanation that I wouldn't blame her if indeed this was true. If that was the only way she could afford being strangled to death by the husband. He attempted to strangle me. That's according to the wife, and that was the only option. Well, yes. She didn't intend to harm the man, I presume.
Yes.
But she felt that was the only way that I know the meatballs. Which hurts more when it is pulled? Is it the meatball or the sausage?
And the both of them, and then the man would just shout, "Ah!" He will just tell
don't mention the name of that organ in Yoruba.
Because I know Aisha is listening.
Okay, as a grade A customary court sitting at Mapo, Ibadan, Oyo State has put an end to the relationship between a couple, Akinkunmi and Bola Tito, on the basis of a meatball pulling. Akinkunmi and Bola Tito on the ground of irresponsibility, lack of love, defiance and disrespect. Akinkunmi, who dragged his wife to court, stated that he had no regard for him. He also said that she was stubborn and hardly ever took to correction. The plaintiff further explained that the defendant was defiant and always flouted his orders in the home. Akinkunmi explained that Bola Tito once arrested him with the police and at another time pulled his scrotum during a fight, the main issue. The plaintiff further said that the defendant's mother humiliated him by beating him black and blue in his own house. I said she has lost peace ever since the woman came around. Oh, he says the woman pulled his meatball so hard during the fight that he almost fainted. And well, the wife says she was consistently starved, and her children also starved of food. And he says the man has been indifferent to their education, and that she's the one training the children in school. Well, maybe again, let's look at it at the broader level. Maybe it still all boils down to the hard times.
Yes.
What this man is saying is anything to go by. Maybe that was what frustrated her, and that she became rebellious, like the husband said. And but then, sadly now they've gone their separate ways.
But I believe this she could still, be settled, within themselves. It is not. It does not have to be a court issue.
Well, I guess when things got to the level that they became irreconcilable, that was when they went to court. Now, remember this one, if supposing it were you, what conclusions would you come to, and what would you assume, and what would you do if you were this man that says, I met my ex-girlfriend, of course you are married now, but we're talking about an ex. Now, I met my ex-girlfriend naked, chanting at my gate. Says the man, and guess what the woman said? Oh, I was praying, says the woman, the ex.
Praying for what? Over what? In front of his gate?
Outside.
Outside.
In full public there, and she was praying. Well, I don't know what time of the day it was anyway. But let's see. A banker narrated how he found a woman who claims to be his ex-girlfriend, and a prayer warrior at the gate of his house around 0100 hours. That's about 1 a.m. Naked and bathing in what is believed to have been charms. It happened in Zambia. According to Zambia Observer, the banker Boston Musonda and his teacher wife, Hopa Chimba, 33, of Obama Charleston, are charged with assault occasioning actual bodily harm. Well, he himself and his wife took the law into their own hands and decided to attack the intruder. She was actually outside the gate anyway, so I don't think they should do that. She wasn't it wasn't on his property. She was outside the gate.
Yes.
So why?
And maybe something, maybe just let the woman realize that I have one ex-boyfriend here, and of course,
answer the question. If it were you,
I would not come out of the house. I will not come out of the house.
Okay.
And I'm sure by dawn she would have left.
So if it was Otumopo, you allow her to go ahead and do the Otumopo, whatever intention she had.
But I will not just come out of the house.
Okay. And another way of looking at it, maybe the man and his wife should just have assumed that maybe she had mental issues.
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
Maybe, and those mental issues could have been brought about by the fact that maybe the man was the one that dumped her, and she had not yet discovered from the psychological effects. Maybe that's why she decided. And then she gave a strange explanation. She said she was praying. Well, it's Zambia. We don't know. There are different climes and there are different ways of doing prayers, and you pray to different principalities and powers. That's also very possible. But I know that what I do know, I'm a Christian, and I know that one, that the Christian God, and even God in Islam, the same God that we serve, would not ask you to go naked and go out there on the streets and start praying to him. So I don't know which God she was praying to. So that doesn't sound Christian. It doesn't sound Muslim to me. So, and it doesn't sound like traditional worship. So I don't know if she says she was praying. That's why I'm saying that maybe she had mental illness.
Well, some people believe that if you want to play, and some churches, mosques, traditionalists, that you can go within the confines of your own house. You can go naked and start playing, not going out to the streets. That is their own belief. Some of our religious, organizations.
There's also this one again, being by a wife who has refused to leave a husband that she claimed was impotent. And the husband says she learned that I'm impotent, dissolve our marriage. And the wife says, though my husband refused to follow the court order that he should perform his duty towards me as a man, that's the duty in the other room. I still love him, she said. So, well, if indeed the man is what he is claiming that he is, love is still enough for the woman, and then minus the activity in the other room.
Well.
My wife abandoned me. Another case, abandoned her 3-month-old baby at home, visited hotels with her lover, says husband, and they dragged me to court because I demanded 30,000 naira for our child's monthly feeding, and that's according to the wife.
30,000 naira. I don't think that is too much for feeding of a child. Though people
considering the economy.
Yeah, economy, and depends on the income of that husband.
All right.
Let me quickly go through this very bizarre scenario here. Police rescue 4-year-old sold for 3.7 million naira in Ondo State.
How sad. It's what people don't understand is that these sums of money, you think it's a lot of money. 3.7 million naira. But I will always tell people, due to the current value of the naira, if you have 3.7 million naira in your bank account now or in your pockets, and then you happen to be a family man, maybe you have to take care, maybe you are 5 in all, you, your wife, and 3 children, and you have to rely on just that 3.7 million naira for feeding, in the next 3 months, almost, that body is gone.
Yes.
That money will be gone in 3 months.
Not to talk about school fees.
And now you also have to talk less spending it on school fees, and all that. All right, let's open the phone lines.
0055009850 or 07055551985. Yes, calls are coming in. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Tola, Mr. Bimbo.
Good morning, Mr. John.
John calling from Ilorin.
Are you back in Ilorin?
I left around 10 o'clock after I visited Alhaji Rashidi Ayinde Merigi. I left around 10 p.m. I did everything possible to visit you people, but it was difficult, extremely difficult. After the coronation, I went to Liberty, from Liberty to Rashidi Ayinde. So it was really difficult, extremely difficult. Quickly, we thank God for the success of the event. In my entire life, I have visited, I have seen many coronations of various kings. But the one in Ibadan yesterday was out of this world. And I want to plead with the environmental this thing in Oyo State. When those billboards begin to wear out, they should see how to clean it up, so that, because there are so many billboards everywhere, so when they begin to wear out and tear down, they should prepare for the cleaning up, so that will not cause the kind of hazard all over Ibadan. Secondly, like my brother, Mr. Jide from Ikonaba rightly said, Babana Doja, His Imperial Majesty, may your reign be peaceful. May you live long, sir. Gestation politics. Baba is a man with a very large followership. But there are things that rubbish kings quickly. We when you begin to choose sides, see yourself as the father of everyone. Whenever they come, pray for them, advise them, let them go and try their luck at the polling booth. So, Baba, please, decision politics. You have built a career, you have built a name for yourself. Don't let anybody rubbish you. Good morning, sir. Enjoy your weekend.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. John.
Well, the KBC is also, is well advanced in age. And when I looked at him yesterday on television, I saw those eyes filled with wisdom and knowledge.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
This is Prince Adeleme calling from Gumoso.
Good to have you, Prince.
Yeah. I want to congratulate new monarch in Ibadan. You know, Baba Obara Sidi Ladoja is a man of destiny who so much believes in God. He doesn't take things difficult at all. That's the reason why God here is life to today. How are we, those that contributed and participated in the impeachment of this man were alive today? Where would they be? They don't think this man will attain this position. But God has destined the man. Well, as Mr. John has said, Baba is a politician before he became now. I want to advise Baba to show decision policy. He's a man of all now. And I pray for him that Lord will give Baba good health and long life to battle the seat of the land to a successful soul. Have a blessed weekend.
Thank you very much.
Oba Rashidi Ladoja was he said he was grateful to the late Alhaji Lamidi Adedibu, who assisted in his ascension to the position of Ijagun. So that's why he mentioned late Alhaji Lamidi Adedibu in his speech. Oh, the man with a large heart.
Yes.
That is the KBC.
Yes. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Alefin Wore.
Good to have you, Mr. Nwere.
I'm not Palestinian. I'm not the man because he knows God. Nothing today he called God. Not like other people who feel like God. So the man who should be the man of God, though, God shall be his strength.
Amen.
Now, I'm a matter. Jesus said they have to answer. Thank God for that. Well, Hesman answer. Bandy answer. Like I told you, Nigeria have a building. Planning man living in flat. Duplex. You do have some flat. You don't have flat. You give woman. Boil water. Apart from what they do, boil water. They think what I can do. Okay, stop. Then I just for you. It's like if woman don't be in Nigeria. Many people might go. All is not in the house. I don't know what they're doing here. What will happen? I don't know yet. On the case of Ondo Monarch, the mobile to do what was global, good of him. Let the statistics. Do we on? Thank you much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. 070-5555-1985. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Happy weekend, do.
Same to you.
This is Mr. Masudolela calling from Model State.
Good to have you, sir.
I've been trying to get in for the past few days. But maybe my own phone will rang quickly when we're about to close. And almost sometimes when I want to phone in, when I had noticed that some of my people are smoking my mind, I just decided not to call. I say congratulations to every beginning of Ibadan. for the coronation of Obaladoja yesterday, and to some of us that one way or the other people in Ghana, the rain be successful.
Amen.
So I just want to say hello, good morning to you people. So I'm calling from Model, which is Masud Olola from Model.
Yes.
So,
thank you very much. In Osun State.
In Osun State.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I am Ademola from Ibadan.
Okay, well, Mr. Demola.
Ladoja. We congratulate Ademola Ladoja. During the coronation, everything went well as planned. And we have a good of Ladoja who will push more Ibadan Nigeria forward. Towards the socio-economic development of our community, there's more to do. So there's need to improve the local government. So we hope the federal government will ensure that Ladoja play more active roles in the council and Nigeria. So we wish Ladoja many more years of further service to humanity and our people. So in Kanu. So people want humanitarian release to them. They seek order for his release. Governors, dignitaries want humanitarian release to them. So humanitarian should not be tried on any charges he was arraigned on. So we think humanitarian has 8 challenges. So the judiciary, the government should strike out the remaining charges against him. They should release him. Because because humanitarian is not a tried. And on security economy, within the government, we engage in humanitarian. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We can still take 1 or 2 more calls. 080-5500-9850. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I am Adepoju speaking from Shaki Oguoroke.
So have you studied for you?
Thank God for the event that took place yesterday in Ibadan. But what made the whole event was the standby musician who is now singing rubbish. Another time when they want to do something of a magnitude, they should not invite him again. Why should he be singing Gwelafi? If he coronated Oba, that is rubbish. It destroys everything. Let him be banned for any event that has to do with Ibadan. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, I like your observation because we too at this end we were, worried that how can a musician be, pushing out this kind of music, and actually there have been, people have been blasting him online.
Well, I'm sure he would also have received them feedbacks by now.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, John calling back again.
Okay.
Please pardon me. Like Mr. Adepoju rightly said, I actually want to raise that issue, but I felt, well, I don't know what will be the reaction of people. You see, when you are bringing a musician, I don't know who chose the choice of that musician. When Ibadan has a illustrious son that can sing far better, that we even go as far as deep into the oriki of the last Dodger limit, and they choose someone. I don't know what they are taking. Singing that kind of song, it is unfortunate. In fact, he spoiled my day. That is the truth. Though I enjoy myself in Ibadan. That musician should not be invited for such a thing again. It's just totally unacceptable.
Thank you very much.
Well, some people said he was actually firing shots in a particular direction, but then even if that's the case, that was not the time to fire shots of any kind.
When it was not a campaign period.
Right, we have to go. Our time is fast spent. It's been an interesting time on the conversation, and we will be back. What the last edition for this week, but we will be back on Monday morning, God willing. My name is Tola Teriba.
And my name is Bimbo Akambi. Thank you very much for listening, and enjoy your day.
Conversation.
The city of Ibadan, the home of ancient warlords, in the Pacesetter state, this is Oluyole FM 98.5 Ibadan.
You're about to listen to the hottest sound. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 98.5.